Zero.
What up, everybody, and welcome on into another great edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. This is our 75th episode, so we're kind of over that hump. Timmy and I don't know, Ant, have you been keeping track of how many episodes you've been on?
Sure.
Maybe more than Mello.
Sure.
He's been on over episodes. He's been on episodes already.
Exactly.
I've done about 130 episodes so far.
Look at that. That's very impressive. Very impressive indeed. All right, so we're here. Mello will join us at Mello time, I guess. But lots to talk about today. It is October. We have a bunch of stuff starting up. We'll kind of talk about maybe get into more of some of the NBA stuff next week. But the NHL has hit the ice, so we'll get into a little bit of that. Baseball is knee deep in their postseason, and I'm really not liking how this is shaping out at all. We'll talk about that. We'll get into Week 5 action. It's just the worst. Just terrible. I hate everything. Hate stupid sports, man. Why do I watch sports?
And then you're betting on them. You're betting on them all the time. Christ. You got fantasy teams to worry about.
Justin Jefferson going down in the same league that I have Mike Williams. All right, before I get too flustered, we'll get into Week 5 in the NFL. We had a couple of good games. Anthony's going to go in a nice deep dive on what's going on with the New York Football Giants. I'm very excited about this.
Notice how the Dolphins fans going to do the deep dive because
he's good.
We can't do it without. We can't do it.
It's not in our capacity right now.
I may have been just as troubled as you guys having done this, but we're gonna get into that later. I'm not gonna. No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers. And then we'll get into our world famous Week 6 picks, which last week we did on Instagram Live. We had a little bit of fun on Instagram Live before the Thursday night game. So all that is forthcoming right after this beautifully produced video. All right, welcome on back in. You know what? Since I know baseball is right into their playoffs. Let's start off with what just started. I'm going to switch this background real quick, and that is
the ice is back.
The ice is back. The NHL is here. It came back to us yesterday, and some little known player, Anthony, may have or may not have scored his first goal a little while ago.
He did. It was really pretty too.
I haven't watched it yet, but the text that came through or the notification says gorgeous from every angle. So can't wait to.
It was impressive. It was impressive. I think the pass before the goal was more impressive that he made, but it was still this kid's going to be special. We'll get into him. Well, I guess we'll get into him now.
Let's do it.
Right?
Let's do it.
I guess we'll do it now.
But first, let's go Rangers. We just throw that one in there right off the bat.
Fine.
Boom, bang.
Hockey kicked off last night with a triple header. Lightning Predators opened it up, and then we had the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. Connor Bedard versus Sidney Crosby. Really cool video going around on the socials. I don't know if anyone saw it with the referee. Hey, Sid, welcome back. Good to see you. And Connor, welcome to the NHL. And then they dropped the puck. I thought that was really cool.
Very cool.
I kind of think they messed up though. That should have been the first game. They shouldn't have had a 5:30 game. I mean, of course, I'm a Predators fan, so I watched the Predators game. But yeah, I think that should have been the first game. That felt like a special moment. You know, and not that I don't like Sidney Crosby. He's a great player, but I don't like him. But still, it was a really cool moment. Bedard 1 assist last night. They actually beat the Penguins 4-2, and then tonight Connor Bedard puts up his first goal, and we don't have the clip of it yet because we don't want to get fined.
I got a big bill from that last show that was just on.
It was
Checked in the mail,
promotion. It was
824.
promotion.
I actually, Timmy and the guys, Eric and Dave, who was just on a show but not yet here on this show. They played the trailer for the Iron Claw.
God, that looks good.
On the Just Two Sweet. So check that out after you watch this show, and then I'm actually going to clip that and pop it up there as a reaction so I can get fined further. But I'm not big into trailers because they can lean either way. They can throw all that good shit in there and just tease you. But that it looked great. Looks great. Back to hockey.
Yeah, so Bedard got his first goal tonight, though. They are down in the second period, last I checked before we started. But the kid looks like he may be as advertised. 2 games, 2 points already, and he may have had another one already tonight. I'm not even sure. But yeah, hockey's back. It's I've been lacking on my hockey material. But we'll get back into the swing of that here shortly. But yeah, hockey's back. Opening night wasn't bad. Predators lose to the Lightning 5-3. For me as a Predators fan, some exciting things. They've got a lot of the younger kids playing, and I thought they, outside of an atrocious first period, played well. Penguins looked like they were going to dominate the Blackhawks last night, and then the I don't know what to call them. The roster is still really bad around Connor Bedard, but yeah, they came back and won 4-2. They were down 2-0, won 4-2, and then they're trailing Boston 2-1, I believe it was last I looked. Tonight, Vegas got their rings last night. Well, technically got their rings a couple nights ago, but they had their banner raised last night for the reigning Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights. I'm wherever Raul is, I'm sure he's very happy.
Yes.
That really cool. I don't know if anyone saw the rings. Really cool rings, though. The top of them pops off, and basically it's a replica of the arena inside of the ring, and it's got markings on the ice for all the goals where the goals were scored in the clinching game, and then it also has a tribute on the ring for the victims of the shooting that took place in their inaugural season as well. So really cool stuff by them.
Wow.
Hockey's back.
I didn't know that last part. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't seen the specifics on what it is. I've just heard about it. So I have to try and find out what that is. But yeah, they did do something on the ring to commemorate and to remember those lost in that heinous act. But yeah, hockey's back. Like I said, I'll have some material at some point here as soon as I get a little free time on my hands.
We'll get ramping up, baby.
Yeah, but hockey's back. It's exciting time of year. Sports are just cranking right now. Basketball's about to start. Hockey's up. Football's in full swing. Baseball playoffs, man.
Playoffs, baby. Playoffs.
It's the best
Playoffs,
man.
What a segue. What a segue. Let's get into those playoffs. So we had a rather uneventful wild card round. All clean sweeps there. For that opening round series. Here, it's not shaping up to what I want. This is not going well for me at all in either league. Why, you ask me? Here's the reason why. Houston is Houston. Bunch of cheaters. I don't want them to win a World Series. That's one. Has nothing to do with Verlander. I like Verlander. All good. Everything's squared away. Melo's here. Melo, right on time in 9:15, baby.
I like it.
Melo Von Eric.
He literally waited. He was sitting in front of his computer waiting until 9:15.
I was not. It's just what time does this show ever always happen? Not 9:50, not 9, not 9:05, yes. Not 9:25, 9:15.
It was like 9:05
scheduled.
No, it's usually 9:30.
Well.
But boss is like, I got to stop doing 3-hour shows. I have to sleep at some point in the night.
Those are long shows. Yeah, we do run long here.
You don't sleep anyway. I turn my phone on at 3 o'clock. I don't. His little green dot. Bing. He's on. What are you doing up? Go to bed.
And last week when we were going to do the show and just schedules didn't work out, stuff was going on. I was like, I was like, okay, well, I need to sleep anyway, and I still didn't get to sleep for hours later.
He's checking to see when Vegas changes the odds.
my hand like shaking, you know. All right, so is Anthony? Does that mean you're out? You can't hear?
No, I can still hear you.
Okay, all right.
One of
all
my
right.
headphones is not working.
So
you'll have to let me know how much on a delay I am.
I think you're good.
Well, you're over there, so we're good.
Yeah. Oh wait, if he's okay, Mello, let us know when you get to this point.
Okay, do it one more time.
And now, the 2-second delay, not bad. It's for language purposes, maybe.
It's like we're talking to somebody over in getting bombed in some country. Like you got to wait those 5 seconds. It's all right.
That's right. All right. Other team out there just swept the Orioles. That was my hope in the American League. I know Timmy doesn't like that, but I don't want Texas for sure. I don't want Max Scherzer getting another title. I don't mind DeGrom getting it. I'm not one of those Met fans that hate Jacob DeGrom for giving us just insane, numbers and just DeGrom days and 90% of his starts with 1 run or less. Thank you. I appreciate all that. You gotta go. And I'm just thankful we didn't pay another pitcher to be hurt. So I'm glad that we didn't resign you. All good. But however, they just manhandled Baltimore. The team won 101 games and they got manhandled, much brings a smile to Timmy's face. And then Phillies and Braves. Obviously, I hate both teams. I wish bad things upon both of them. Philly is now up 2-1. Bryce Harper goes nuts tonight. 2 home runs. Fine, whatever. My hope was that the Dodgers would take care of business, and they might still. But the hope was the Dodgers would take care of business so that they could take out either the Braves or the Phillies. And holy shit, they're down 2-0 on the verge of being swept by the Diamondbacks.
Or the shitty Diamondbacks, the worst team
what
in the playoffs.
is happening? So now, if all holds, the final 4, none of us had this. Rangers, Astros, Diamondbacks, and Phillies are up 2-1. So let's call it that. Let's just say that, just for the hell of it. Even though the Braves are built, they can come back in that series. So Phillies, Diamondbacks, I feel like there's no hope there at all. So
I don't know.
I'm not happy with the way baseball's going. I'm not happy with the way football's going. The one hope I have in my life right now are the New York Knicks. What?
You mean the Liberty? Game 2 tonight? Should it be starting right now?
Yeah, they're down.
That's
1
your
game.
hope.
And are those are 3-game series?
No, it's the finals.
Championships are 5. Is it? I don't.
I'm sorry. The WNBA is in their finals right now.
Yeah,
I didn't even know the season. I didn't know the season started.
I think Game 1 went up against like Monday Night Football.
It did. It did.
If you would have bet me, put a gun in my head, I would have said the season didn't even start yet, did it? Sorry, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just being. I've seen nothing about it like anywhere.
It's okay.
Their season always starts during the end of the NBA finals.
How long is their season? How many games do they play?
Too many.
Well, imagine June to now. Come on, guys.
Watch us as 4 men try to think of how many games are in the WNBA season.
I have no honest clue. If you told me they played 12 regular season games, I'd believe you.
40.
40. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So they played a 40-game regular season and 3 rounds.
They just started
a
40-game. They just started the 40-game season this year. It had been 36.
How did I not even know 1 game was played? That shows you how much coverage we get up here for the fucking WNBA.
Well,
and
it's
your
not
team is in the
just up
finals.
there.
everywhere.
Not just up there. It's everywhere.
Your team is in the finals, Timmy.
My team?
New
Do you
York.
think
New York.
Do you think Tim knows
The Liberty's in the
anybody on
final?
team?
Yeah,
You
that's
knew
why.
the team
And I haven't heard anything about it.
It's New York and Vegas, baby.
Wow.
So do they? If the Liberty win, they do a parade, right?
No, they better not. No one's gonna be there.
No, sweet.
Just normal New York foot
Yeah,
traffic
I'll
will
go.
look
Yeah.
at the parade.
I'll
It'll
be
fine.
there for that.
That's what they
No,
should
no.
do.
I
Just
can't
rent.
go to a parade for anything else.
No, they
I'll
should
go
just
there.
rent like a big truck and just drive them down the middle of Manhattan traffic, like normal traffic. No one's gonna care.
Put them on a sightseeing bus.
Yeah, put them
Bring
on a
Apple
sightseeing
Store.
bus. Liberty World Champions, just drive up and down.
The ticker tape.
Ah.
Oh my god!
They'll fill their own ticker tape up in the air.
I don't know how the baseball section turned into a shit on the WNBA section.
What's like that gets canceled?
No, I'm just being brutally honest. I did not know the season started. I had no
The
clue Liberty
WNBA scandal.
were in the finals.
WNBA scandal rocks pop culture pros. It's like
Hey, I'm just saying, as living in New York, I thought I'd at least hear a tidbit that the women's team is in the finals, and I nothing.
Well,
Zero.
remember last year? I didn't even know that the All-Star game was here for the Panthers. I live across the street from the whatever the hell it's called now.
Wow.
Like
They've changed the name of that damn arena so many
Now-
times. Oh my
yeah,
god!
now when you drive past it, it has the old name at the top, and on the announcements with concerts and stuff coming up, the new name. So it's got both names. There's just
Have they resulted to like Spirit Halloween style yet, where they just have like a banner over the sign to have the new name on it? Because that's where it's probably heading.
exactly
They change
exactly
names on
right
that
there.
arena. I swear every like 6 months. It's insane.
No, I have no idea. I don't even know
Go
what the hell it is
go
anymore.
Liberty.
Go Liberty. They loaded up in the offseason. I did know that.
What?
Listen,
They got to bring some
Listen
class
to
to
me.
Madison Square
Okay.
Garden. Come on now.
Here we go. I'm putting it for them. There we go. Now it says it all right there. Right there, it says it all.
All right. So a couple of games. The Phillies that game just ended a little while ago. 10-2 rout of Atlanta. The Twins are trying to tie up this series against Houston. They're down 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Let's go Twins. Let's go Twinkies, baby. And then Diamondbacks, Dodgers and Diamondbacks. Like I said, Diamondbacks are going for the shocking sweep of the Dodgers. This would be.
Are they the new Braves?
Don't say that.
Well, I'm just saying they got one title, all those division titles, all those playoff appearances, all those, and they're only gonna have one World Series to show for it.
Do you know that of the top 5 teams or 6 teams in the playoffs, those 5 or 6 top teams won a total of 1 game?
1 game.
What? Wait, what? Say that again.
Wait, what the hell did I hear? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
I was like, 1
Yeah, I
game.
was like,
That's why.
what?
That's why I was like,
Is
1
it-
game.
The top or maybe I'll go back and look at it. It was Russo. It was Mad Dog today. But the other thing that I heard that doesn't make sense, but it is true. The American League East is like for their last 18 in games. They're just being swept left and right. The Rays,
Jesus.
the Yankees last time that they were in the playoff last year swept.
The Jays.
Jays
This year.
swept. Orioles swept. And I think they said last time the Red Sox were in, they got swept. So they get there. They just don't know what to do when they get there lately. Any reaction on this stuff? Dodgers, what the hell?
Bryce Harper is really good at baseball.
Fuck. He is.
He
He
has
gets so mad when
that
it's
he has a,
And you know what the worst? Like he does good things for people. And I hate him.
he has a
kind of
lovely
good
mane,
person.
a
I
lovely
love
mane,
Harper.
Beautiful
flowing
hair.
in the
He does.
wind.
I can't.
When he hits a home run, it's like a princess getting out of the shower.
He steps on home plate. He takes his helmet off and he flicks his hair around.
Stupid.
There's a guy with a fan there who blows so it blows in the breeze.
the cameraman actually has a fan on top of the lens, so as he's walking towards the camera, the hair is still flowing backwards.
I do hate the Phillies, and that whole thing kind of popped back up where the Mets just let Zach Wheeler walk, and that was pre this ownership, so those cheapskates, cheapos.
It's been really good the last couple of years.
He had just started. He wasn't an old guy. He's still in his mid getting to upper 20s, and he had just put back-to-back seasons where he had two great halves, and then that last season with the Mets, he put it together. He was trending up as Thor was trending down, and they both left. Thor is like all over the place now, but Wheeler's a swing and a miss for us. Rough.
You know, him and Garrett
Boss,
Cole signed
what
their
is it?
contract at the same time. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Melo.
Again, remember I'm on that little delay. So
My bad.
no, I was just gonna say, like, if the boss could rank then like the least favorite from the NL East from top to bottom.
Hated to
At least
least
for him.
hated.
Yeah.
In the
Not
National
counting
League
the
East?
Mets, obviously.
The Mets would be my most hate. No.
Could be right.
Oh,
now.
No, damn, it's tough between the Braves and the Phillies. I'm gonna go Braves 1, Phillies 2, Nationals 3. I don't hate them. I don't hate the Marlins. I
Do you
don't.
know before you just said Nationals, I had totally mind blanked for a minute there that they were still in that division. I totally forgot.
You were thinking
Like, oh,
Marlins
shit, the
immediately?
Nationals are still there.
I
He
mean,
didn't say that. He said Braves, Phillies. I'm like Marlins. He's like Nationals. I'm like, who the? Oh, the Nationals.
They're a team.
Right. They're still there. That's crazy.
they
They
still
exist.
there. Still exist. Minus Strasburg. You guys see that was a fiasco. The Strasburg announces his retirement. They set up a retirement ceremony for him. This was a month or whatever ago, 2 months ago, maybe. Set up this retirement thing for him, and then at the last second they cancel everything because now there's talk about the money. What do the Nationals really owe him if he retires right then and there? Would the Nationals go after X amount of money from this and that? So they canceled the damn retirement thing that the guy probably had his people coming out to over money. So that's what they're going through there. All right, so we'll see what goes on. It's still 3-2. We'll keep the updated on what's going on there. Bottom of the second in Arizona. No score there. All right. Now, I'm very excited for this. Very pumped for this next segment. We're going to talk about some of the Week 5 games as we transition over to the NFL. And Anthony's going to go first. What we do here now is, based on how we pick the week before, whoever has the best record will get the first pick at what game they want to cover this episode. So we all tied. So we went with overall standings. Ant is in the lead. We're all top 4, by the way. So as Mello said in our private chat earlier, right where we belong, top 4. But I can guarantee you,
for a reason.
That damn right, Ant. Damn right. I can guarantee that me and Timmy and I have not put in as much homework as you have for your game. At least I can vouch. I speak for myself.
Okay, well, I'll get started. So I chose to cover the Dolphins game, which I've done a couple weeks now since I am the Dolphins fan here. The Dolphins played the Giants this week. Before I get into my stuff, the Dolphins won 31-15, 16? 16. Mello was there. He should know. 31-16. Not a super impressive performance by the Dolphins, but certainly not a bad one offensively. A couple of bad turnovers that led to some points. Ultimately, the game kind of went how most of us expected it would go. Wasn't really close or didn't really feel out of hand at any point in time. I don't mean that as a shot at anyone, but that's what the game was. I was prepared last week after the Giants game last week to potentially cut a video admitting I was wrong about Daniel Jones. I was prepared to, I had it in my head. I was going to do some research on it, and I was preparing myself to make these statements. And I said, I'm going to hold off another week because I think that I said this to you guys in the chat. I'm going to hold off because I think they're going to actually do good offensively against the Dolphins. The Dolphins defense, not great. And then I watched the Dolphins game. They did not do much offensively against the Dolphins, which they should have, and they gave up 7 more sacks this week to the Dolphins, which the Dolphins, defensively, they're not good, but they're like 3rd in the league in sacks right now. So there's something.
14 hits.
14 hits. So I decided to dig in to this Giants offense to see what I could find. And what I found was someone who won an award last year, undeservedly so. And I'm not talking about Geno Smith's Comeback Player of the Year award. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the guy who won Coach of the Year last year, Brian Daboll. And so we're going to go over a couple stats, and then we have some graphics because the budget was raised for this one.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got some graphics.
There's graphics.
I didn't get no graphics. Shit.
This budget is from like 3 weeks in a row. That hasn't happened.
So
It's rolled over.
2022 season. Giants go 9-7-1, make the playoffs, win a playoff game, a road playoff game against the Vikings. Daniel Jones, 67% of his passes he completes, 6.8 yards per attempt, 1,800 air yards. He throws 133 passes that go more than 10 yards down the field. He throws 27 passes that go more than 20 yards, 10 more than 30, 5 more than 43, more than 50. He has 2.5 seconds on average of pocket time, the highest of his career, which is disgusting when you think about it. And he is sacked 44 times. This is last year in 2022, where their leading receiver was Joe Blow. Who knows? They didn't have any receivers last year. They were terrible. This offseason, they trade for Darren Waller. They draft Jalen Hyatt. Wan'Dale Robinson is supposed to be more healthy than he was last year. We have weapons now. Now it's time. They gave Daniel Jones the contract. By all accounts, because Brian Daboll wanted him to be the guy, because they could have very easily let him go this offseason. He was a free agent. They didn't have to bring him back. They decided they weren't going to tag him, but they gave him the contract anyway. So we come into this season with high expectations and high hopes. They've added weapons. We're going to see the offense open up a little bit. I gave you those stats of how deep some of his passes were last year. Those were among the worst in all of football in terms of deep passing, which means they threw the ball deep at a lower rate than, I want to say they were second to last in all of football last season. So then we go to this season, 2023. He's on pace to throw 30% less passes, 10-plus yards down the field. He's on pace to throw barely over 100 passes, 10-plus yards down the field. He's on pace to throw less passes, 20-plus yards down the field. He's on pace to throw less passes, 30-plus yards down the field, so on, so on, so
Still
on.
a trend is happening.
There is a very big trend there. He's also getting sacked at a higher rate. He's on pace. He had 44 sacks last year in 16 games. He was on pace for almost 60 sacks this year in roughly the same amount of time. His pocket time goes from 2.5 seconds last year down to just under 2.3 seconds this year. He's getting hurried more. All of these stats very troubling. And before Mello can say, well, Daniel Jones is the one throwing the ball, why isn't he throwing it deep? Mello, those are great questions. Those are great questions. Everyone should ask those questions. Well, let me give you some more stats before we get into the graphics, okay? The average yards per catch for receivers, yards before the catch. So the amount of yards downfield they are before they catch the pass. In 2022, Darius Slayton averaged over 10 yards before he caught the ball. So he's catching the ball on average 10 yards down the field before he catches it and makes his first move. Isaiah Hodgins, over 8 yards. Sterling Shepard, over 7. We go to this year.
Sterling Shepard's 3 games he played. We're going to throw him in there.
Still played. I'm sorry. Give me another receiver. We'll look up his stats if you have it.
Saquon?
We're looking at receivers. I can pull up the running backs later, but I do not have his receiving stats in here. We go to this year. I'm going to start out with the good one. Jalen Hyatt is averaging 21 yards before he catches a pass. That's
on
that's
those two,
incredible.
those two
On-
balls.
Yeah,
you caught.
exactly.
On his 4 receptions this year, he's averaging 21 yards before he catches the pass. They don't have another receiver averaging over 8.5 yards before they catch the pass. And if we take out Darius Slayton, who's at that 8.5 yard mark, they don't have a receiver above 7 yards. Isaiah Hodgins, 6.2. Darren Waller, 6.6. Wan'Dale Robinson, 2.4. Paris Campbell, 2.8.
Wait. Well, Wan'Dale Robinson had 5 catches though on Sunday for 19 yards. 5 catches for 19 yards.
So again, this is where Melo says,
Excuse me?
Anthony, Daniel Jones is the one throwing the ball. Brian Daboll just calls the plays, right? You know what, Melo? You're right. Steve, let's go to the graphics.
Let's do it.
Let's go to the videotape. Let's go to the videotape.
Go to the graphics. Graphic number 1.
This feels like the Manning cast.
This graphic
This is the Manning cast.
I want you to look at all these passes that are 10 plus yards down the field here on this graphic, right? This is Daniel Jones in week 2 against the Arizona Cardinals. 300 and something passing yards, a bunch of rushing yards, an amazing offensive performance. Look at all those passes deep down the field. That's incredible. How could he do that? Steve, go to the next graphic, please.
Okay, hold on. We're not. We're not as quick as this.
I'll fill in time. So we see in that game, he's throwing more than 33% of his passes over 10 yards down the field. They have their most successful game offensively on the season. That's week 2 against the Cardinals. This next graphic that's going to come up is, while it's only one game, I can promise you all these games look the same. How many passes are more than 10 yards here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, which is less than 25% of his passes thrown. And what's really bad about this is that if you look at his other spray charts from this season, he's actually throwing the ball more than 10 plus yards down the field at less than 20% clip, which is pathetically low, especially when we see him do it, and he's very efficient at it in a game against the Cardinals. Melo's like, I'm not convinced. I need more data. This isn't doing it for me. Steve, we have more graphics, don't we?
We sure do.
We do have more graphics.
We're gonna get there quickly here. Well, look at this. Boom. Boom.
What you are looking at is a route tree from an actual Giants pass catcher in a NFL game. These are the routes that a receiver ran in a football game. I don't know if anyone is having trouble seeing this. None of those routes go past 10 yards. Not a single one of them.
Nothing past 8. Everything else.
I mean, we're only seeing the ones that are completed because I don't see an incomplete route on any of these.
But there's still the routes that were run. I mean,
these are routes that were caught.
Continue. That particular player didn't have an incomplete route in that game, which is even sadder.
Oh, okay.
Do we know what player it was?
6 for 6.
That's Paris Campbell. That's your boy,
Steve
Paris
boy.
Campbell.
Why is everybody my boy? Everybody's my boy.
We have another one though. We have another one.
Look at that 3-yard hook on the right.
That was impressive. Look at that yak. Look at that yak.
This is
the yak was 0.3. All right.
Yeah, and mind you that the green part of those lines is after the catch.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, it's a 5-yard hook, but he came back in 3 to make the catch. He came back in to lose yards.
Boom, boom. All right. Did I get the cue for the next one?
Yep. Go ahead. Hit the next one.
Let me.
We have another route tree.
Another route tree. Let's do it. Boom.
Oh, look, it's a little bit further. This guy had 2 routes that went more than 10 yards down the field. Melo, this doesn't trouble you at all? No, not at all? We got one more graphic to show you. One more graphic. And this graphic is going to show you Daniel Jones's rates when he was throwing the ball at different increments down the field last season. And it's going to show you his success rate when doing it. And I'm going to point out a couple of things here. Because I'm not going to make it sound like Daniel Jones is the greatest quarterback in the league. But when you look at something like this, I have a lot of questions on what we're doing offensively. So we look at this chart. When going deep down the sidelines, Daniel Jones is 46 points higher than league average. This is in QB rate on those throws. When going in the middle of the field, more than 10 yards down the field, Daniel Jones is 14 points higher than league average. What am I missing here? We've seen him do it, and we've seen him do it with worse weapons. We bring in the weapons, and now everything's within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. I brought this up when we watched the Niners game. The Niners are a downhill defense, and I know the Niners arguably the best defense in football right now. Maybe they're not the best example, but we could go to any Giants game this season, and we see defenses all doing the same thing. Defenses at this point in time don't believe that they're going to do anything deep down the field.
They're here.
So defenses are just playing up. Defenses are all lining up within 10 to 15 yards of the line of scrimmage, no deep safeties. And when the ball is snapped, nobody is backpedaling. Everyone is moving forward. And this is the offense that Brian Daboll, the coach of the year, is putting out there. And this is with added weapons. Listen, I know Saquon hasn't been there, and I know that hurts this offense, but you have capable, able-bodied pass catchers. Jalen Hyatt, and I get it, he's a rookie, so you're going to have hiccups. But please, you can't have Paris Campbell running 3-yard outs all game. Like, this is not good coaching. This is not good personnel decisions. This is terrible. And I'm sorry to say that, but I give you all of this, even with the less pocket time, even with getting hit more often and getting sacked more often, Daniel Jones is still completing more passes at a higher rate than he did last season. His completion percentage this year is up at almost 70%. And this is what we're dealing with. These are the plays. These are the route trees that this guy is being given on a regular basis. So I'm not ready to say it's Daniel Jones is a problem. What I am ready to say is there is an imposter coaching your team. Because, listen, I don't want to hear about the offensive line is bad. The Miami Dolphins have had the worst offensive line in football for like 3 years running. Austin Jackson, our starting right tackle, has graded out as one of the worst starting tackles in football the last 3 years. Austin Jackson is a top 5 tackle right now by PFF grades. Top 5. You know what that is? That's scheme. You know what that is? That's moving the pocket. That's moving the pocket. That's not allowing guys to just tee off on Daniel Jones as he drops back to pass. That's all scheming. Because it's not like the players just instantly got better overnight. And it's not to say Austin Jackson is terrible, but he's been really terrible up to this point. And all of a sudden now he's the best tackle in football. Robert Hunt, he's been about league average every year. Him and oh my gosh, I just blanked. Isaiah Wynn, who's starting at the other guard position for Miami. They have allowed no QB pressures this season. None. They both rank out as top 5 guards. And it's not talent. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're good players, but like this is scheme. This is scheme. Move the pocket around, create motion, keep defenses off balance, take shots down the field so defenses can't play up on you. It's not overly complicated. I'm not going to act like I'm a football genius, but that's what Brian Daboll is supposed to be. And he's not showing that right now. He hasn't shown it at all this season. And it's sad because I thought last year he did a masterful job with the pathetic roster that they had. A masterful job. And I don't know what happened in the offseason, but what he's doing right now is pathetic.
Listen,
you cannot blame Daniel Jones.
First of all, don't sell yourself short, calling yourself not a football genius. I'll stay out of that. But Peyton Manning is a football genius, and Peyton Manning was so frustrated for Giants fans when they had the Manning cast. It felt like every down he was calling for Hyatt to get in there, just air it out, see what happens. What's the worst that could possibly happen? You're doing dinks and dunks 3 yard, and then they put Hyatt in and he throws a 2-yard pass to him, and Peyton goes, yeah, put Hyatt in and throw him a 2-yard pass and be done with him, and he goes back to the sideline. So yeah, I mean, I definitely feel it. I feel it as a Giants fan from all angles right now. Timmy Daboll, what are your thoughts on him right now? What are your thoughts on mostly the play calling? Is
Anthony, I agree with everything you say, absolutely everything, and yeah, I am definitely agreeing. And then those graphics, they're beautiful. They're beautiful because, like you said, you got Jalen Hyatt.
Beautiful thing.
You got Jalen Hyatt who at one point outran fucking the cheetah this year. Wan'Dale Robinson healthy is fast. We finally seeing how fast this kid is now that he's healthy. Paris Campbell, not a number 1 or number 2, but he was pretty quick. Like you said, look at the routes this dude's running. Why? Why are you running screen passes to Paris Campbell for? Why? The guy's fucking fast. You don't run screens to him. I mean, yeah, we didn't get to do we stomped you out, but yeah, That's exactly what I was going to say. The coaching has been horrendous. I don't know what Adebo sniffing his own fucking newsprint, kissing his own ass, wiping his fucking butt with his trophy last year. But this is not. Let's put it this way. I said it after the Dallas game. I honestly thought they could beat Dallas. Yes, I was smoking this shit, I guess. But I thought he would have them prepared for that game. I thought the coaching staff would have this team prepared. They don't look prepared for nothing. Not a game. It looks like they're playing football for the fucking first time out there. And it's pathetic and it's gross. And like you said, the graphics proved a lot of shit. Who runs those kind of routes? Pull up a fucking Dallas route. Pull up a fucking another route. I bet you're not going to see those routes run. Paris Campbell, yeah, do 5 yards, come back in 3. I'll throw you the ball. Why? The fuck is that going to accomplish? Nothing. And you know what? I'm going to stop because I'm going to get mad now. But as far as Saquon, yeah, I'm done with him. He's not going to make a difference in his offense. He's not. This is a terrible, terrible offense. Maybe he'll get his 100-yard games, but he ain't making a difference. He's not making a difference in this game. Trade him. Trade him now while we can for a 7th rounder or whatever next year. Get it over with.
If we trade him for a 7th rounder.
Well, I can't hear Steve.
I don't think we were crazy, though, to think that they could compete, though, against...
We hear you.
We can hear you.
I can't hear you. Okay, hang on.
Can you hear me?
Talk amongst yourselves.
Hello. Okay, so what I was going to say, though, I don't think we were crazy coming into the season to think that they could compete with a team like Dallas. What we saw with Brian Daboll, what he did with Josh Allen in Buffalo, is we saw him make these incremental progressions those first few years that he was there with Josh Allen, and then we saw the leap. Then we saw the offense open up. I get it, they added Stephon Diggs, and the Giants didn't necessarily add a Stephon Diggs caliber player. But when you add Darren Waller, when you add a healthy Wan'Dale Robinson, when you draft a kid like Jalen Hyatt, you don't have to have that one player. You can spread the ball around. Like, you can have these guys running different route concepts to open the field up, which would have just made Saquon all the easier to do things with. And I get it. Like I said, Saquon, an amazing player, and losing him hurts. But these routes are, I don't care who your running back is. I don't care who your offensive line is. I don't care who the receiver is you're throwing the ball to. When you're just running these little 3-yard hooks like Tim was talking about, and these 5-yard outs that Paris Campbell is running, and Darren Waller is chipping and then running a freaking 4-yard hitch in the middle of the field, what are you planning on accomplishing with this? Like, you're allowing the entire defense to come up. And not to mention, not only is the entire defense coming up, but what defense is scared to send extra guys at that point in time? Shit, yeah, send an extra safety, send an extra nickel off the edge, send a linebacker. Who cares? They're only going to throw the ball 3 yards down the field. We'll catch them and tackle them anyway. What's the point? It's terrible. We expected to see a progression in the offense, which we saw with Buffalo, and we didn't see that. We actually saw a regression in what they were doing last year. And it's really difficult the fact that they're throwing the ball at a lower increment in terms of air yards than they were last year is mind-blowing. They were among the lowest air yard teams in all of football last year. Why would you throw it shorter with better play? Like, I'm dumbfounded by that. And I get it. Daniel Jones is the one pulling the trigger, but man, he can only throw it to the routes that are run, and the routes are not great.
No,
go ahead to me.
No, and like you said, I losing is one thing. They, like I said, every week they don't look prepared. They don't look like they're ready. They don't look like they watched film. They don't look like they watched the defensive play. And I'm blaming all the coaching right now. I really am. All of them, not just him. Martindale looks fucking confused out there. How do you admit that you're scared of a team? Oh, I'm having nightmares about this Dolphins team. It keeps me up. I'm pissing in my. Why would you say that? Why would you say something stupid like that? I blame the coaching staff. I mean, how do you have a guys as quick as Hyatt, as quick as Ron, and you're not line him out? Let him run a flyer out every now and then. Stop bringing him in 2 yards. It's not going to do anything. I'm done. I can't. So
on the first episode of We Stomped You Out this year, I posed the question to you guys, Mello and Timmy, and so this is more towards you now, Mello. The question was, do you guys think that they, and I think Dave remembers this, do you guys think that the Giants closed the talent gap enough to compete in the NFC East? And I think we all said that we believe that they definitely did with the Cowboys. And then that happens week 1. And so now you look at and I know, Mello, you're heavy-handed when it comes to Daniel Jones, but thinking of it holistically, is there any area of the game of football where this team has closed any talent gap on any team? Like any area, it's like zero area.
The punter.
The punter is
He looks really good. He looks
getting a lot of
figuratively and
practice.
literally. I think he looks really good out there. No, okay, so I'm gonna agree with Anthony on a couple things and disagree with him on several things as well. I agree that some of this play calling is pretty bad. However, because we can go back to when we did the predictions for what we thought the Giants were going to do, and I didn't think they were going to do that great. Just because I felt like other teams are still going to look better than us. And I think the perception of Daniel Jones being Josh Allen really misled a lot of people. He's not Josh Allen. I didn't think he was. I think what happened last year was that people didn't really expect the scheme to be like, okay, whenever you don't see anything, just take off and run. So what happened this year? They know he can run, and he can run well. He's not going to trip on his own feet anymore. Thank God. But now you're looking for that. Right? So they're figuring him out, and I think that's what's happened. Yes, the O-line is bad. Yes, the scheming is bad. Yes, them running all these like 2-yard outs are terrible. But at the same time, like that's what Daniel Jones is doing. Darren Waller's not always running a 5-yard out hook back. He's not, but he's not getting him the ball that much. We can look back. I just looked at it. His targets last game, I think he had 11 targets. But you were already down a lot, so you're going to be throwing. And he didn't even finish that game. So Tyrod Taylor was throwing the ball at the end, and he looked pretty good doing it. Shocker.
No, he didn't. No,
he
looked
not. Pretty. He looked a lot better. He looked
ran
better.
Hold on.
His whole 10 minutes of playing than Daniel Jones looked 3 quarters in.
You got so excited because he ran for a first down that Daniel Jones is not done this year. You got we ran for a first down.
He was moving that ball.
He escaped
what I was
one guy.
About. He was moving the ball.
Okay.
Where they got almost to the point where they could have probably scored a touchdown at the end if they wanted to, but they didn't. Daniel Jones wasn't even close to scoring a touchdown.
Daniel Jones put a dime up to Darren Waller in the end zone. I maybe you were
a dime. If it was a dime, he caught it, right?
It was no.
I think that was the point of Steve's comment that he didn't.
That's the point. he did not catch the ball in the end zone.
It wasn't the best pass. Come down.
Bullshit. I'll bring it up right now. Because
but I
maybe
will also
from your from your 50-yard line seats you weren't able to see it.
The sun might have been in my eyes. You're absolutely right.
That should have been a touchdown, Mello. I'm sorry, Steve's right.
No, it should have been. I agree, but I don't.
Should have been a catch.
At least from my angle, it didn't look like the best pass. Anyways, I do think that Hyatt should be out there a lot more often. Like when Odell Beckham came in Game 3 for us back in 2000, whatever. They just went, okay, here, go out there. We're gonna do what you do, and he came out and balled. I don't understand why they're not taking this chance with the rookie. I don't know if it's because they paid Steve's boy Paris Campbell so much money or what it is. It doesn't make sense. Just go out there. Just go out there, play him. Hodgins has been another one that's been such a big letdown, I think, from what he did last year.
Your boy.
I will say that's my boy.
There's no argument about that.
There's no argument there. Hodgins was my boy. I talked him up last year, and I don't know what's going on this year with him.
Wait, let me ask you guys a question too now. Barring the injuries, do we owe Kadarius Toney an apology? Because because here you draft this receiver, ridiculous speed, ridiculous moves, never plays. When he does play, when he's healthy enough to play, he's barely on the field. Fast forward to this year, you got Jalen Hyatt. The dude's clocking in, one of the fastest guys in the league. He's not on the field to play. Is this do we owe Kadarius showing us a little apology saying sorry? It seems like Dayball or whoever does not like rookies for some reason, is not putting him on the field to play.
But Tony got drafted before we got Dayball, though.
I'm just saying.
Right, but what he's saying is that
No, I get what you're saying. It's right. I'm saying he got drafted before, and then last year.
No, I'm just saying in general. In general, does this team not like rookies? And that's what I'm saying. I don't mean just Dayball himself. I mean, why is it happening again? You have a talented rookie out there who's just not being put to use. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Even if Hyatt hadn't shown anything other than speed, just having him on the field is going to keep defenses honest, and that's the biggest problem in my opinion. And as far as someone like Isaiah Hodgins, I actually like Isaiah Hodgins, but I think someone like Isaiah Hodgins, who's also got his yards before catch are down this year compared to last year as well. You know, someone like him is going to work as a complementary piece when Darren Waller is eating up the intermediate, when Jalen Hyatt is pulling guys deep, when Wan'Dale Robinson is killing people on crossing. And when that stuff is happening, then someone like Isaiah Hodgins can feast wherever he wants to because everyone's worried about everyone else. And that was one of the reasons I liked Hodgins coming into this season, because I thought with Hyatt and Wan'Dale taking shots, with Waller just eating up the middle of the field intermediate, like 15 yards, it's going to open up a ton of stuff for Hodgins, especially when Barkley is healthy. And Hodgins has played a lot, but it's just,
it's not.
I never thought he was a special talent, but I thought he was a capable receiver.
Yeah.
So
maybe competent and capable.
I was going to say maybe it's the cameras from the QB show, the quarterback show, or getting to Daniel Jones. I don't know what it is, man. It's just wild to me.
And I
can't wait to watch that season now.
I will throw one last stat out there. One last stat. Daniel Jones, per I believe these are PFF rankings, threw 55 passes last year that were deemed poor or interceptable, right? So that means ball is off target to the receiver, or uncatchable, or deemed interceptable. This season, he was on pace to throw less than 50. Before he's injured now, I don't think he's playing this week. He's probably going to miss a couple weeks, in my opinion. And if I'm Daniel Jones, I don't know if I'm rushing back to come back to this. Yeah, be careful what you wish for.
Oh, I know. I talked about it last season when he got this contract.
But I'll say this, and I mentioned it to you guys a couple weeks ago. It seems to me like Dayball doesn't trust him, and maybe that's the reasoning for this play calling, which brings me back to my whole point from before. If you don't trust him, why do you petition to sign him? You could have just let him walk.
But you trust him with the lesser weapons. Chose to sign him, and then
none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense.
Yeah, right. All right.
It's like there's some underlying something, because it doesn't. It doesn't make sense.
Jalen Hyatt must be the worst practice player in the history of football, because the fact that dude can't get on the field makes no sense to me. He must go to practice and literally piss on the field instead of run around like that. He goes and lines up out wide and then just drops his pants and takes a piss.
Just Johnny Football style. Doesn't even look at the playbook. Just I'm gonna go out here.
I don't know what he could be doing to deserve this treatment.
Yeah, but say, hey, Giant, I want you to go run 10 yards out and run back in 7. We'll throw you the ball. All right. Why? Why? You're getting tackled by linemen.
Maybe he questioned it. Maybe he's like, hey, coach, why am I running a 5-yard hitch on every play I'm in for? Dayball's like, you're not in on any of them now.
Out. All right, let's that was we stomped you out for the week. Let's move on.
I don't know. It sounded more like roasting Mello.
No.
What?
No.
So Mello. No, yeah.
Don't take
I was gonna say why.
No. But those were questions you would ask. I just said it before you could. That's why.
Yes. That's legit questions. All right, let's get into this London game that happened on Sunday morning, minus the Disney Toy Story stuff. Timmy's going to talk a little bit about this.
I am not as prepared as Anthony. I have no graphic.
No.
I have nothing to show.
I was going to say something, but it's foul. I won't do it. I was going to talk about an injured player, and I don't want to do that. I won't do that. That's wrong. We're not going to do that.
I have no shame. It's all right. Buffalo and Jacksonville. Last week I was going to introduce my new segment. I was going to call it "I'm Sorry," and just make a bunch of apologies. And one of those apologies was going to be to the Buffalo Bills, because I remember saying in the beginning of the year, I think they're taking a downturn. I think they're this. I think and dude, they've been on fire, man. They've been doing what they said. They didn't add another receiver to help Diggs. They drafted another tight end. I was like, why? Why would you do that? Diggs was wanting out, and they didn't fix their line. And I was like, all right, whatever. I better apologize. But then they started blowing people out. I was going to apologize. But then last week comes up. Wow. I was a little surprised by Jacksonville. Where's Kyle when you want to fucking throw something in his face? No, they played really well. But why did Buffalo get beat last week? Time of possession. Look at the time of possession. Jacksonville kept Josh Allen and the offense off the field most of the game. That's how you beat them. And I'm not going to say it's why, but it's a huge factor. Jacksonville was there practicing the entire week. There was no long cross-ocean flight. There was no having to get used to time difference or anything along that. So I'm going to call a little bit of shenanigans on that. I don't think any team should play London 2 weeks in a row and have that kind of comfortable, be comfortable. That's what I should say. But I think it was a good competitive game. I still going to apologize to Buffalo. They look a lot better than I thought they were going to be this year. Like I said, they have some kind of leftover Dayball magic. Maybe he left all his magic there.
Maybe Ken Dorsey was the real mastermind.
Maybe he was the real mastermind. We got the leftover shit. They got
in the booth.
They got Arnold Schwarzenegger. We got Danny DeVito. Maybe that's just the leftover shit.
Oh no.
That's the way to put it. No, but it was a great game. It was a good competitive game. I'm looking forward to seeing these two teams play again. But I do think, the time difference. They had an 18-minute drive, something crazy like that. Jacksonville had. Yeah, destroyed them on time. Time of possession. That's how you beat the Bills. That's how you beat almost any team these days that are offensive minded. So yeah, that's what I got in the Bills. I think they're going to be okay though. They're going to be fine. And so is Jacksonville. I like Jacksonville a lot. I think they look good. When they're playing in London next year, they'll look even better. They're black and their Black Knight uniforms. Whatever the hell they're going to be in London.
The London Black Knights. I love it.
And look, they took a gamble on Ridley, and it's working out.
Yeah, it was a gamble. He wasn't like he was doing drugs or.
I feel like this is a safe space for dad jokes.
Okay.
Dad jokes.
Oh wow!
Gamble. It was a gamble.
I got it. I got you.
You got suspended.
Just hit me.
It went right through. Steve.
Any concern with them losing another all-pro caliber defensive player?
That's the other part I was going to say. Yeah,
back-to-back weeks.
Losing Matt Milano is fucking huge for them. And it's not like, let's go out and sign this guy. No, you ain't finding another fucking Matt Milano. So that's a horrible loss for them. And they were dropping like flies over there. I was going to start questioning that field. Is that the old Giants field? You moved it out to London? Why are so many people getting killed on that fucking field? A couple of Jacksonville players went down too.
His seemed like a freak injury, though. He just kind of got rolled up on, but then his leg got stuck underneath a guy. And then they say he ended up breaking his leg and tearing some ligaments.
Yeah, you get Von Miller back, you lose Matt Milano, but I'm sorry. I know Von Miller is Von Miller, but Milano does so much more than Von Miller can do out there, especially now. He's more of just, I'm going to rush you, I'm going to rush you. Matt Milano can cover. He can rush. He can cover anybody on that field almost. So it's a huge loss for them.
There's like 5 off-ball linebackers in all of football that are like worth talking about. Matt Milano is 100% one of them. Like him and Fred Warner are at the very top of that list, in my opinion. With what they do, and it's funny because I actually thought that the Bills could have some trouble after losing Tremaine Edmonds, who has been their inside linebacker, their other off-ball linebacker that they had in Buffalo. He signed with Chicago in the offseason. I thought that was going to hurt them a lot. Instead, Matt Milano has been like, nah, I'm the reason this thing works. Like he's a fantastic player. I as a Dolphins fan, I hate him. As a fan of football, he is incredible to watch.
Yeah, that's going to be
unreal talent.
A huge loss to them. I don't know what they're going to do to replace him. But you can't replace him. So they got to figure out other schemes and other ways to,
schemes, baby. Schemes.
Yeah, because
word of the day.
He's one of those, Zach Thomas type guys who's just everywhere.
Yep.
Just everywhere, pushing your own teammates out of the way to make a tackle. It's like, dude, move, bitch, this is mine. That's the kind of dude he was.
Meanwhile, wait, hold on. Meanwhile, our offensive line is pushing our players out of the way to let the defenders through.
Yeah. Evan Neal.
They have to sit him. They can't let him keep going out there. Every week there's like 2 or 3 plays where he just olays the defender, and you can't have that.
Unbelievable. All right. So we'll see what goes on with Buffalo. Game I want to talk about is the game that brought me some joy after a tough day. Is the 49ers and the Cowboys, and just what the 49ers just manhandled the Cowboys. And we kind of, a lot of people crown it was Dallas was absolutely a top 3, especially after that first game, Super Bowl contenders. Tell you this, since Trayvon Diggs went down, the Cowboys are in the vicinity of 30th in the league in passing defense. So things have this is a different defense. It's still explosive. Don't get me wrong. However, things have changed. Brock Purdy throws 4 touchdowns. Seems as though that elbow is looking good. McCaffrey gave us a little scare, losing that fumble early on, but obviously, the 49ers
gave us the scare. His other 28 touches weren't nearly as valuable.
So he was the lone turnover for the 49ers. 3 interceptions thrown by the guy who led the league in interceptions in less than a full season last year. Pollard also the names have been blurred out for safety of the players involved. George Kittle, my hero for the day at least. Beautiful shirt. Go ahead and find the guy. Go ahead, just do it. He'll pay the money. I'll put a few bucks towards it. 3 catches, 3 touchdowns, very efficient, 67 yards total out there, and just the 49ers outplayed them, which brought a smile. I was like the Grinch, small smile, then it goes and grows and grows and grows. But the Cowboys. The thing going into this season was they were going to be a little bit more conservative on passing plays, give Dak less of an opportunity to make these mistakes, and against a team that now they cannot beat, and it's all up in their heads now. He throws 3 picks. Obviously, had to throw a little bit more in this game because they were behind, but just this did not look like a battle of a future NFC Championship game. To put it mildly.
Oh, no.
So thank you to the 49ers. I appreciate it. It was a rough day. The early games there was not much excitement there either. The Giants were getting beat down, and this saved it. Saved it for the weekend. I did hit on that nice little underdog parlay. I did.
So don't forget, Nick Bosa having a pretty good day too. Half sack. 1 tackle for a loss, 4 QB hits.
A whole half a sack? He had a whole half sack?
He had 4 tackles.
Whoa.
Like, he quietly,
So he's got,
he's a presence.
He's got like 2.5 on the year now? He's got like 2.5, right?
He's doing it all.
2.5
it's
sacks,
like,
that's incredible. How many does TJ Watt have?
His comparison is to the hustle man in basketball. He's gonna set your screen.
TJ Watt have like 9?
Make sure that
Wait. Don't dig yourself into this corner, Mello. Because that guy does not get paid what he's getting paid. The guy that you're describing,
but I'm saying it's important.
The hustle guy,
role.
Yes,
he's making everyone else
the
around
hustle
him
guy.
great.
He's the highest.
But the hustle guy doesn't get paid.
NFL history.
Charles Oakley was that high paid.
LeBron James. Then he's making everyone around him better.
No. If there's one player on that defense that makes everyone around him better, his name is Fred Warner. Because Fred Warner is unbelievable.
And he can thank Nick Bosa for taking all the attention.
Fred Warner was good before Nick Bosa knew how to walk.
He's taking all the attention. Thank you, Nick Bosa. You're having a great year.
Yep.
It was
just like Brock Purdy,
the best pass rusher.
Mr. Brock Purdy, that apparently he was gonna struggle because he finally was gonna face a real defense.
I will say this. I'm not gonna officially say it yet, but when our mid-season QB rankings redos come out, I may have to take an L on something I may have been wrong about. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna say anything else. We'll save that for when we redo the ranking.
Yeah,
But I may be taking an L on that one, and I may have to admit to it with some statistical information to back up my L.
that'll hurt. It'll hurt, but you're man enough to.
We can all do the I'm sorry segment.
He made a couple of big boy throws on Sunday night that had me go, oh, okay. I was impressed with his performance on Sunday night, and I'm not going to say anything else. So don't ask me about him. I will happily talk about the defense and how
He's got
great
the Lex
everyone
Luger
aside from Nick Bosa is.
Elbow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, real quick before Mello starts, my apology specifically was going to be to Gabe Davis, who I made fun of for being Gabe Davis, and now he's scored 4 in a row. Plus, he's having a phenomenal year as a number 2 receiver.
4 straight.
Sorry.
He's like,
I'm going to say sorry.
Dave doesn't have one this week because he was at the game. That was funny. I was like, why can't you just cover one game? It's, all right.
I was at the game, and then the only other game I watched was the Niners one
Sunday night.
Yeah.
You could have talked about your boy Jimmy Jawline getting the dub on Monday.
Well, okay. You know what? Let's talk about something. The 2 games that I wanted to change my picks, I couldn't. How about we talk about that?
Why?
Because I was clearly choosing Chicago.
Wait, that came after the game started. You wanted to do that.
But you guys
clowned
me into picking the Commanders.
I picked Chicago, didn't I? They're up 14-0. I picked Chicago, right?
We can all go back to the IG live. You guys clowned me into picking them because I wanted to pick the Bears. I did not want to pick the Commanders. I was like,
it's not our fault you succumb to peer pressure that easily.
By the way, you know who the number 1 fantasy quarterback is now?
How?
Justin Fields.
From 2 games?
Yeah, 48 and 52 back-to-back games or something like that.
That's
absurd.
ridiculous.
And I'm still 0-5, baby. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate that. Thanks, Aaron Jones.
But we'll talk about that later.
What the hell, man? Jesus.
Tim has beaten the snot out of multiple members of this show this season.
My God. And auto drafter, everybody be happy that unfortunately we're not happy Justin Jefferson's hurt, which they are talking about the turf on that because he just kind of like slid across the turf and had to catch himself, and that's where the hammy stuff got hurt. And by the way, this whole Justin Jefferson thing, this could be a whole lot longer than 4 games, even if it's not necessary, because if the Vikings aren't winning the next 4 games, the Bears won a game for Dick Butkus. Mello, you should have known that.
You guys were saying that Justin Fields didn't even know who that was.
We did say that.
I still think you know who he was.
He still doesn't. Nothing changed.
So what's the Vikings record now? They are
1-4.
1-4. Okay.
So does this change your boy Cousins' trajectory?
I think this changes a lot. Because look, these are the next 4 games. He got put on injury reserve, at least for the next 4 games. Obviously, they don't need him this week. I say obviously, but who the hell knows? Against the Bears. Then they got the 49ers, the Packers.
Are you sure about that?
You don't know. You don't know. I don't know what Melo's going to go with the Bears this week, I feel. Tease ahead.
Melo might not be the only one.
Then they got the Falcons. We don't know what the Vikings are going to be. And then they got the Saints, Broncos, and then the Bears again. Now, depending how they come out of these next 4 games, which when we're talking about the Vikings, who don't know how to close out a game and win a game outside of last year, if they're not anywhere near the hunt of anything, why would Justin Jefferson, who's a free agent, come back, risk that? Why would the Vikings not start selling off and have Kirk Cousins go to the Jets?
Because they have Aaron Rodgers who's going to come back.
Oh, boy.
So on the Kirk Cousins thing, a report came out earlier today about Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was approached by the Vikings about waiving his no-trade clause. And while he did not comment on it, he was asked about waiving his no-trade clause. And while he did not comment on it, the team has approached him about it. And he said that he would waive it in the right circumstance. And the rumor is that the right circumstance means that he wants a new contract with whoever trades for him. A new contract that extends beyond this season. which would automatically rule out the Jets since they have their 41-year-old quarterback with one Achilles for next season ready to go. A couple of the rumored teams, though, were the Falcons, the Titans, and the Patriots. Obviously, we know it's not going to be the Titans because we know who they have.
The legend in waiting.
Fuck yeah.
Probably not going to be the Patriots either, in my opinion. The Falcons one is interesting, though, because I do think him with Arthur Smith would be pretty nice.
Does a certain tight end finally wake up? Does a certain tight end finally wake up? If no?
No. Arthur Smith hates Kyle Pitts.
He's
He's
screwing me in 2 leagues, so fuck him.
I
feel like did you have him last year too?
Yes, last year he wasn't. He did okay. This year I was like, "Oh, this is it. Come back." No, both teams, and of course I sat him last week, and he had the best game of his career this year. I was like, "Fucking bastard."
Which wasn't a lot either. It was like
no.
Okay.
Well, I was dumb because I said I forgot.
Like
I had Pitts or I had Ingram, and I'm like, well, I'll keep Ingram because he's been doing good. But it was against the Bills, which I should have realized. Okay, take him out because against the Bills, but whatever. I don't care.
I mean, Ingram's had a resurgence since he got a competent quarterback.
You got away from offenses that run 5-yard hitches. So,
I mean, he was getting plenty of passes, down the field. He just wasn't catching them here.
You know what?
He couldn't catch.
He wasn't catching them here.
He learned how to catch.
That was the key. That's the one part you left out, Mello.
Yeah.
He learned how to catch the football.
It's like, Evan, what's the difference between here and New York? Well, I'm catching them here. I learned that part.
I don't have a full like a top 5 segment, but I did want to touch on a couple of decent bets that I've come across. So little money shenanigans here.
Take notes.
So first, the Bengals. If you believe that the Bengals can do what the Bengals do and turn this ship around, which is what they kind of started to do, you saw Burrow look healthy. He was moving around better. And that was without one of his receivers. The Bengals to win the division right now is plus 470. You're not going to find it better. You're not going to find it any, odds any better in your favor for that. So that's one to watch.
Yeah, you throw $10 on it, right?
Yeah. I'm not.
I would. That's worth
no
it.
mortgage.
I'm not going to do it.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I'm not going to do it.
Don't put the kibosh, Timmy.
I'm not going to put any money on anything ever again. So don't worry about me.
Kibosh.
That's right.
Kramer at the kibosh. Put the kibosh on me, Jerry. Next one. AFC champion, Miami Dolphins. Also sitting at plus 470 right now. It's one to toss a few bucks at. The Dolphins. Listen, the top 7 speeds of the year are all Miami Dolphins. So track meet it is. I know what happened against Buffalo, but with that type of speed and you got the adjustment on the other side of it, maybe. But at plus 470, not bad.
Save your money.
I will not talk about Dolphins, but
well, then here's another one, because if you like that bet, why not take it a step further and say that the Dolphins win their first Super Bowl since their perfect season at plus 1,000?
Wow,
that's not true. Actually, they won the year after, and they won
73.
My bad. Since that vicinity, that area of the perfection, plus 1,000. So
it's plus 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the favorite and what's their odds?
I actually have
Chiefs,
this
probably?
for you for the Super Bowl. The
49ers.
49ers are now the favorite at plus 450. The Chiefs are plus 500. Eagles plus 650. Buffalo and Miami both at plus 1,000.
Not bad.
If you want to, I'm just kidding about this, because they have the odds for the actual Super Bowl matchups. If you want to somehow think that the Baltimore Ravens are going to play the Arizona Cardinals in the Super Bowl, it is plus 200,000.
Well, none of us think that, though.
None of us think that.
And I don't even think those are good odds, honestly. I think you should get more.
200,000.
I wouldn't put a dollar
1
on
million.
Nope.
1 million to
Save
1.
my
I
buck.
put $1 down. I best get $1 million back.
That's not $1 million. That's not that bad.
That's
Not
the one.
that one.
All right. And then I just want to run down season award favorites real quick. Patrick Mahomes is favorite for MVP, followed by Tua and Jalen Hurts, followed by Brock Purdy is right now fourth favorite to win the MVP. Offensive Player of the Year, it's Tyreek Hill and Christian McCaffrey, and then everybody else. They're plus 160. And then next up is Stephon Diggs at plus 1,700. Defensive Player of the Year, you got two plus 250. That's Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett. TJ Watt is plus 300. Maybe if you wanted to sprinkle a couple of bucks, Aiden Hutchinson is plus 1,300. Coach of the Year, Dan Campbell, plus 350. Timmy's boy, it's happening this year.
They look really good.
Although
really good.
The nerd down here, the geek down here in Miami Gardens is at plus 400. Kyle Shanahan, Bill Simmons' boy, plus 700. Plus, NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, CJ Stroud, plus 100. Puka is plus 350. Bijan, plus 450. Comeback Player of the Year. Who is the favorite right now?
Geno Smith.
Tua.
Baker Mayfield.
Tua.
Oh,
I hear Baker Mayfield. And what'd you say to me?
I was joking. I said Geno Smith.
Oh. Well, you're all fucking wrong because the favorite is still DeMar Hamlin.
How?
what is the odds?
He played
minus
one
200
this year.
2 games. Played 2 games.
Minus 200 are his odds.
Minus
Tua,
200?
I'm saying like heavy. Yeah, I don't remember what it was before the season. I thought it was
Minus like
maybe
5
minus
something.
400. Okay, 500. So in that range. All right. So after him, you got Tua at plus 400, Baker Mayfield at plus 1,600, Cooper Kupp, who is
16?
Cooper Kupp is right now. Listen to this and take this maybe. Cooper Kupp is at plus 2,000. Why not? Why not?
Probably worth a couple bucks.
Why not toss a couple bucks at that?
I'll toss
If
a couple
he's
there
still-
and Baker for sure.
What did he miss? 4 games, right? Cooper missed 4 games. He just
Yeah.
came back this week.
Yeah.
So if he
give
misses 4 games and he still throws up like 1,400 yards, like he's got to be in the conversation, right?
For sure. For sure. All right. That's
is
your
very
little
What
that's
is
your little
Baker?
gambling segment.
What is Baker coming back from? Nothing. Like Geno
That's
what
right.
he's-
We're going to ignore that.
from
And what-
obscurity.
How 2 back-to-back years
He's
where
coming
it's
back from getting
coming back
cut
from
like
nothing.
Carolina.
When are we going to give Christian McCaffrey some more respect? And he should be in that MVP conversation. Like, when?
MVP awards don't go to running backs.
But
and
the
I'm not
year
saying he
he's
doesn't deserve
having-
it. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it.
I'm just saying, to be
saying
fair,
MVP
if he
awards
goes and
don't go to
has
running backs.
30 touchdowns,
Dude, I'm with you. He's
No.
amazing. He definitely deserves to be in the conversation. He's just
And-
not going to.
Ant loves McCaffrey.
I do love
McCaffrey
I
is
love me some
7th.
CMC. I
McCaffrey
hate
is
that he plays for
7th.
the fucking Niners. That drives
Among-
me nuts.
we couldn't tell. McCaffrey is 7th right now in MVP
That is-
odds at plus 2,000.
so who's ahead of him? Like, who's 6 and 5?
Tua,
Herbert.
Mahomes, Purdy. Herbert's ahead of him?
So
What?
6. All right. Mahomes
Well,
is
6 and 5
1.
are the ones, yeah. The ones that
Mahomes
bother
is
me.
1. Tua is 2. Hurts is 3. Purdy's 4. Josh Allen is 5. Herbert is 6. McCaffrey 7. Trevor Lawrence and Lamar Jackson all have the same. It's McCaffrey, Lawrence, and Lamar Jackson all with the same odds.
That's mind-boggling. Should be no
So
reason.
he's not even actually 6. He's technically going to be behind them because they're quarterbacks. I mean, honestly,
He's 7th. He's
that's-
7th. Yeah. No, he's 7th.
That's crazy.
Look at Jared Goff in there at plus 3,000.
He doesn't deserve MVP.
Look at
He's
Geno
having a good
Smith
year, but
up
he
there
doesn't
at plus
deserve MVP.
10,000.
Jared
That's
Goff
not
deserve it
fair.
because Detroit's a team, not
Detroit's a team.
individuals. They're a team.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell, man.
Look what they did
God, I
last
love-
week
I love
without
Dan
their
Campbell.
two of their top offensive guys.
God.
They are
They
they
did.
are they are
Carolina.
they are a pride. They are not a team. They are a pride of angry lions.
Let's do this now, fellas. That's a good segue. Let's get into our world famous week 6
Wait, I
picks.
got a boom
You got something?
roasted this week
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh.
You said you're
Oh,
watching
yes.
the games. How do you have a boot roasted? All right,
because
let's
there's
do
only
it.
one person that gets roasted this week.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Don't worry, don't worry. I'm gonna wait for Timmy to get back, but there's a boom roasted this week. I made sure brought back
was
the segment. I had it last week, but obviously we just did the pick last week.
Yes.
So boom roasted.
No,
There's
my
only-
apologies. Mello, go for it.
No, it's okay. There's only one person to get roasted, and that person is the one person who went into a particular game hoping for a win, wearing a stupid blue jersey, who ended up in the visitor sideline in 90+ degree weather,
Oh,
getting a sunburn, dying of heat exhaustion, and that person is me. I really thought the Giants could have pulled this off because, my streak was on a roll. I thought, this is the game to upset them. I had a little bit of faith in Daniel Jones, and then that quickly faded, 4 minutes into it, seeing another missed field goal and just sweat pouring down my eyes. Forearms, I had them on my shorts just drenched in sweat. I was like, yeah, I got to get out of here and go get a beer.
So I made the right choice.
And
I made the right decision.
Yeah, you had the right choice. And then I went, had a tequila shot and some more beer and enjoyed the rest of the ass whooping that we got the rest of the day.
There it is. Yep. That's
did you pay
it's
for
real.
those tickets?
Roast. I did not, thankfully.
Okay.
But
So
that
it's
but
not
that
as
the
bad
home
as
field.
it could have been.
Yeah, my wife today. I said, I was going through the show, and I said, okay, we're only going to do 3 games. She was like, why? She's like getting involved in my show prep. Why are you going to do 3? And you got 4 guys. I said, well, Mello was at the game, Giants game on here on Sunday. She was like, wait, they were here and you didn't go? I was like, I was not. Because I would have been pissed. Would have been no sense. No, it wasn't happening.
Again, so yeah.
All right,
roasted person this week is
like literally
and
literally roasted.
Metaphorically and physically.
Yeah.
You got
I
to
don't know.
sunburn.
I don't know how you guys live in that heat all the time.
I honestly don't know how it. That's the first time I experienced that, like from that sideline, with the new cover in the
Well, you're
stadium.
not a
like,
Dolphin. Okay, you're not a Dolphin.
No, but
fan, so
I
it makes
was
sense.
at one point in time a Dolphin season ticket holder, but that was before the roof. Or the
that was back
canopy.
when every seat was in the sun.
Exactly. So that now that it's unfair for the visiting team, I'm like, there's this is just not fair. Like, how did they let this
Mello's
happen?
like, shade. I need shade.
Like, honestly, all the Dolphin games should be, if they're home, should be 4:00 and later. There's 1:00 games are just not fair for the opposing team.
Yeah.
It's
Awful.
It's funny too because I've been to 3 games now since they put the canopy on it, and I'm not gonna lie, sitting on the home sideline is wonderful. It is not near as bad over there.
It's unbelievable. And you see it, but then when they show the thermometers on each side, it's like, damn. All right.
They said it
side's
was like a 30-degree difference.
yeah.
Between
One side's
sidelines.
begging for oxygen. The other side's like, all right, hey, work that brow.
Yeah,
The other side's passing around drinks with umbrellas in them.
Well, you see them like the Giants were like every time, like depending on who was playing, like offense would have to stand if the offense was out there, defense would have to stand if the defense was out there, and they moved the little covers from each side to each side. I was like, man, this is wild.
That's crazy.
I think it was Buffalo last year. They actually brought in air-conditioned benches.
Yes.
So the benches have like coolers in them, and then extra vents on them to pump air.
They
Pretty
sure did.
crazy.
Yep. All right, let's get into it's 5 weeks in already. I can't believe. By the way, I've had this written.
This is week 6.
Well, we're through 5 weeks, so we're getting to the 6 weeks. By the way, our $20 bet. I've had this on the sheet to talk about for 3 straight weeks because I really wanted to actually.
I was waiting to bring
it all the way through. But now I want to clarify on air. It's because we said, and then Mello clarified. It's after week 8. It's after week 8, but what day on week 8? What do we do there?
When week 8's over, when the games in week 8 end.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, whenever they play, no? They
I
play
mean,
Monday?
technically, it would be whenever Monday night game ends, or whenever their game ends, because you can't make roster moves till Tuesday anyway. Well, I think after Saturday, you can't make roster moves for that week anymore.
Right. Okay.
Or so after Friday, I mean.
We're almost there, but I feel like the Patriots are like on the verge of saying, "Fuck it, just everybody just have at it." Who are born? You trade you. The coach retires mid-season. That's a
Nobody's
disaster up there.
Ezekiel Elliott.
They're trading a 23rd conditional 2039 pick, 23rd round. Sure. All right.
No one's still doing that.
I think we need to make one for like after this one's done, after week 8. I feel like it made it fun, like thinking about it every week. Like, oh, who's going to be on what team at this time?
Did I miss something? What the hell are you guys talking about? Was I not on that show?
No, that was a chat a while ago.
We announced it on the show.
Yeah, when they signed Zeke,
the Zeke thing. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, you got it. Okay, good. Okay.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Timmy's like, what the fuck? Where'd that go?
I'm like, $20. What I miss out on?
I'm like, here comes that senility again. That senility's coming back.
All right, now let's so I'm gonna it feels like at this moment in time I'm gonna owe $20 to Anthony, but we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks. But that team has been a just cluster fuck of a disaster of a team, from coach to everywhere to I've never seen a Patriots team without at least a competent offensive line. Tom Brady would have had none of that.
Let's wait till next week to do this. But if they lose to the Raiders this weekend, we need to have a serious conversation about Bill Belichick and how good he actually is.
Yeah,
just saying.
I think maybe we could talk about this next week, like you said. But I think he's just like holding on for that, trying to get that record, which it's 18 wins away. Like where is he going to go to get 18 wins before he becomes like? He
needs a zapper in there real quick.
Get the zapper to the rescue.
Yeah, he came in and looked like dog shit. I don't know if you watched any of that. He looked terrible.
All right. So while you pull that up, I'm going to start pulling up these.
29.
29.
He's not.
Absolutely not. Stop.
That's like 4 or 5 years.
Go and be an advisor somewhere and not on a football team. All right. All right. Well, forget that. All right. Let's get into week 6, which starts off tomorrow night with just a brilliant matchup. Thursday night game. I'm not asking nobody who's picking nobody because I'm putting Chiefs on all of us here. Not even.
Wait.
Mello.
Make sure Mello make Mello pick against Russ. Make Mello pick against Russ.
I picked against him last week.
Pick against them again. We want it on air.
This is
Mello, who you got in this game?
I got the Kansas City Taylor Swifts.
What a scare, guys! How many people just had their stomachs roll up inside them when Kelsey just came up limping on that? I know Dave did.
I thought he tore his ACL.
I thought he tore his Achilles.
I was.
We thought he tore something knee down, but it was just a tweak of the ankle, Mister.
Speaking of turf,
but that's 2 already this year.
What was his first?
By the way, he had
hyperextended his knee.
Oh yeah,
that was before the season.
All that happened. We got denied a Taylor Swift song. Would have been called, sprain. I don't know, spraying in the rain or.
So it would have been called "I Hate Artificial Turf," and artificial turf would have been banned by the NFL right after.
Well, that's a good artificial turf is a good name for us.
But no, yes. So they actually New Heights, the Kelsey Brothers podcast, they did a long piece today about the turf and talked about the different kinds of turf and what the actual issue is. Very informative. Just saying. Yeah,
turf has always been. I played on it before, and I played baseball on turf before, and it's just and that was a long time ago because I'm old now. But it is rough on the knees, rough on the joints. It's not great.
I mean, I guess that Kaiser shot is really, holding up his legs.
I
What
guess.
did you say?
The Pfizer
the
shot
Pfizer
is really
shot
holding up his legs.
I mean, hey, that's the only difference between him and A-Rod, right? Yo,
That's
tell me that
like-
dude's not begging for attention right now, going on McAfee.
Aaron Rodgers is
Whoa,
saying,
always
please,
does though now.
please look
Come
at me.
on.
Hey guys, Aaron Rodgers
Please,
over
I'm
here.
still here. I'm still here.
My God,
I'm
he
not
is
irrelevant yet.
so bad.
Fucking
He's
terrible.
great. Stop it, guys.
He needs to thank, Mr. McAfee for keeping him relevant throughout this season. Because he's going to remain, my stuff is going well, my rehab, I'm going to be back in record time. I'm going to be back faster than anybody has ever done it before.
He is.
It's the shrooms. All right, let's get to Sunday morning. This is another London affair. Not involved in the Jags this time. This is the Ravens. Hey, wide receivers, get your shit together. 7, or what, did it finally come down to 8
7.
drop passes? 7?
Yeah, something like that.
Lamar. I mean, I know there's some of this is on Lamar, but 7 drop passes. I mean,
What if it's
fumbles,
on Lamar?
Fumbles and holding on to the football. So
Get TJ Watt off of him.
well, that's easier. Yeah, it's easier said than done. But already they're starting to talk about well, I guess you could talk about him and the guy in Cincinnati, both getting monster contracts, and not doing as well this year per those contracts. Ravens
another
at the
quarterback
Titans,
who
not
got a
Will
monster
Levis,
contract, who looks fine.
who is that?
Who
Is that-
you all
It's not Aaron
despise?
Rodgers.
Nope, certainly not him.
Who do I despise? I despise nobody.
Jalen Hurts.
I don't despise him. I hate him. All right. All right. And we'll get to the Eagles. Ravens at the Titans. Ravens are a 4-point favorite here. I am going with the Baltimore Ravens this week. Timmy, who you got?
Sorry, I'm looking up words that rhyme with turf so I can write a song for Dave.
When you're surfing on the turf.
I like
Nerf?
the Ravens.
Nerf?
Ravens. I'm gonna go Ravens. Unless Will Levis comes in, then I'm changing my pick Sunday morning.
I will allow.
That's an automatic rule. That's an automatic rule, though.
Will Levis comes in, absolutely allowed to change your.
But we said it's the Levis clause. Whatever game it is,
clause, yeah.
Titans.
Dave.
Will Levis gets in a game for any team, and we automatically choose that team. Period.
even if he's not under contract with said team.
He goes to a flag football game this weekend and starts quarterback, and they're going to win.
XFL,
Period.
baby.
That's it. That's how it rolls.
XFL.
Levis.
Where he might start next year.
Well, next year we pick someone else on the draft.
To latch
problem is
onto
next
it.
year, the quarterbacks are like really good though.
That'll test the resolve here. That'll test how much of a jinx factor you guys are, because I was not on that show. I was not on that episode.
Right.
Mainly my fault on that one. That's mainly my fault. Mainly.
Like that.
Yeah, that's
Dave,
on
who
me.
you got in this one? Ravens, Titans.
Baltimore. We almost became the pop culture Levises that day.
Still possible. Still possible. We haven't ruled it out yet.
Anthony, Ravens, Titans. Hopkins looked good last week.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, not good
Baltimore.
enough. All right, Ravens.
Nice, Baltimore.
All right. Next up, I know that Raul's keeping up. So Raul's got Chiefs and Ravens so far. He's along for the ride with us. Next up, the Commanders at the Falcons. Falcons are a 2.5-point favorite here. I'm going with the home team. I probably shouldn't have started this time, but I'm going to start anyway. I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going with the Falcons. I believe in Ritter. No, but I'm going with the Falcons. It's like, don't do that too far. You went too far.
Too much.
Ed, who you got in this one?
I don't believe in Ritter, but I do believe the Falcons win.
I think it's the first time I'm picking the Falcons this year. I think. Dave?
That's a good question.
Give me the C's.
Ooh, the C words.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pick the Commanders. Don't do it. Timmy?
Don't pressure him; he'll get mad.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna go Falcons at home.
Going with the Falcons. All right. Next up, the first of four, at least four, without Justin Jefferson. Hope you picked up Osborne in your fantasy leagues. He's going to likely step it up here a little bit, along with the Rook Addison. Vikings are 2.5-point favorites at the Bears here. The red hot
Start with that guy.
Bears. The red hot Justin Fields. No, just go. I'm going to start. Well, I haven't started. I don't think I started with Timmy yet. I think I did though. But
You
Timmy,
start with me.
I did.
No.
Timmy, Vikings, Bears.
I think for the first time this year, no Justin Jefferson. I'm going the Bears
The Bears. Wow.
at home.
Oof. Dave.
So in one of my bigger leagues in fantasy this year, I made the trade for a certain quarterback. And I feel like if I don't go with that quarterback, I'm just going to be digging myself deeper into this league and regretting that trade. So I'm going to go with Steve's cousin, Kirk.
Now listen to me for a second. I keep on getting like this guy is always my boy, right? You had him as
this one's your cousin. This is family for you.
Okay, this is family. You had him as your right outside your top 10 at the number 11 quarterback in your rankings, and you traded for him.
I did.
And he's still my cousin. All right, that's fine. Ant, who you got in this one? Vikings, Bears.
I'm with Tim on this one. I think I'm going to take the Bears.
Bears. Okay, I'm writing a rap song.
The most talented man on Pop Culture Pros.
I'm multitasking. I'm trying.
Write a rap song. And
I'm not a good rap writer though, but I'm trying. Sorry.
No, I don't think I can confidently go with the Bears. I know you guys are not confidently going with the Bears.
Have you watched the Vikings play this year?
I have, but I've also watched the Bears outside the last two games with Justin Jefferson. Because I'm 0-5, and 3 of those losses, Justin Fields had like
they lost
3
Herbert.
points. They lost Herbert, but what's his name is good. I can't think of his name.
They have Deontay Foreman and Roshan Johnson. They'll be fine.
Roshan
Johnson isn't Johnson iffy though still?
No, he's good. He's out of.
Isn't
he out of protocol?
Should be fine.
Maybe, yeah.
I thought they said that today. I could be wrong.
I'm putting too much belief in here, but I'm siding with Mello on this one. I'm going with the Vikings.
It's like Vin Diesel.
Not happy about it. Not happy about it at all.
You got to
like
go with
0.
family.
No, you know what? He's that dorky family member, if you want to call him that, because he was so embarrassing in that show.
It was so you're admitting he's family, is what you're saying.
I said if you want to call him family, I said.
You're admitting you're related.
And everybody has that one family member, right? At least. All right.
He's your Tyrese. It's okay.
All right. Next up, the Seahawks traveled to Cincy to play the Bengals, who looked much better last week. I'm going to start with Timmy. And first, Timmy, are you confident that your boy Burrow is back? Looked good last week. He moved around well.
I should just pick the Seahawks to get the jinx over with, but I'm not going to because I have to come back in this competition. I am going with Joe Cool and the Bengals.
Going with the Bengals.
Okay, I got one verse down.
You got a verse?
I got a verse.
We're only 5 games in. You got a verse. I'm going crisscross here. Ant, you go next. Seahawks.
I also
Bengals.
am going with the Bengals, and this is if there was one game this week that I'd be like, I'm going to reserve the right to change my mind on, it would be this one. But I'm going to go with the Bengals for right now.
I too. I'm going to go. We're 3/4 of a way to a sweep here. I'm going with the Bengals on this one, pretty confidently too. Dave.
Seattle fighting Genos.
Luckily, I'm known as Mr. Fourth Quarter, and luckily, we didn't get a show. I wasn't on the show for the boom roasted Giants Seahawks, because y'all wouldn't want to hear that. But after a bye week, the Seahawks are beating your boy Joe Cool, Timmy.
No.
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 All right. Next up, and one of the more it depends. Is a certain quarterback playing for the Browns this week? Is there?
Doesn't sound like it.
So this is going to go up. It feels like
I don't care.
Wait.
I don't care if Jesus is playing.
I was about
for
to
the
say it
Browns.
mattered if he was playing.
well, it matters to Vegas who starting quarterback is versus TJM or TBT or I don't know who the hell the backup is because they
DTF.
only use DTF. Well,
It don't matter.
you made me say DTF, man. All right, that's fine.
Listen, you can bring
DTA. Don't trust.
You
anyone.
can bring Jesus Harold Christ into this game, and they ain't winning this game. 49ers.
Is this a nice clean sweep here?
You want to get the line at this negative 6.5. Just in case.
This is you tease this to plus 1.5, baby, or 0.5, or not even. You do a 6 point tease. You get down to 0.5. Next up, the Saints at the Texans. The Saints are 1.5 point favorites at Houston. This is a complete stay away game if you're betting, because fuck this game. From that standpoint, shit. Who wants to start with this one? Timmy.
I think Anthony did.
The other way.
Saints.
Timmy's going with the Saints. Saints go marching. Dave?
Wow, this game sucks.
This game sucks. It sucks big time.
I want to say the Saints, but I'm not. Texans.
Texans for Dave. Anthony, who you got?
Fuck, man. I don't like this game. I am going to take the Texans as well.
I am also going to go with the Houston Texans. Even though they lost, they helped me win me some money because they lost by less than 3.
It was close.
It was it was close. Colts at the Jags. Jags are 4.5 point favorites here. I am gonna go with the Jags. Richardson's out.
IR.
Minshew Mania, baby.
Yeah.
Minshew Mania. Jaguars. Easily.
Wait, revenge game.
Jaguars.
Oh, yeah,
man, Minshew Mania.
All right,
Jags.
so we got the Jags for Timmy. We got the Jags for Anthony. Got the Colts for Dave. Be bold. I'm not pressuring you.
It's at Jacksonville.
If it helps you, I have the Jags also. If you want to go completely against the grain.
I don't want to go against the grain. I just don't want this to be another Chicago game over here where I feel like the Colts would beat the Jaguars.
They just spent 2 lovely weeks in England and they beat the Bills.
But now they got to come back and be in smelly old Jacksonville. They're gonna be.
Could be a trap game.
I convinced myself. Colts.
Colts.
Let's go Minshew Mania.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you said I convinced
he's gonna say
myself
we
because I
peer
thought you were going to
pressured
blame it
him.
on Timmy, if anything.
He's going to if they lose. He's going to be like, who peer pressured me into taking the Colts?
All right. If there's a clean sweep on the slate, here it is. Panthers at the Dolphins. Dolphins are 13.5 point favorite there. Dave? No. So I'm going to just take
Adam
that as
Thielen. He's back.
he is back,
Nice.
but he's not back enough.
Okay.
Adam Thielen, blast from the past, got that fountain of youth energy going. But
I guess I didn't show my. I forgot. I had to show a shirt when I was boom roasting myself.
Oh,
Wearing this is I don't know how what color it looks like for you guys, but it's
It
a nice
looks-
Dolphin shirt over here.
it does look like that. Cold beer and hot dogs and touch. Wow.
Yeah, again,
Poor guy.
roasting
Lose
myself.
Did you lose a bet?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's it.
Last time I lost
right.
a bit like that, I had to go see the Karate Kid remake. I almost killed myself. Lakers Celtics. When the Celtics won the first year, second year, my friend was like, "If Lakers win, you got to go see that movie, and I want you to bring me the ticket stub." I sat through that. Shit
That's
movie.
dumb.
I would have just bought the ticket stub and took it to him.
No, I had it because he was asking me questions. I was
Ticket
like,
stub. Look how long ago we were talking about now. Ticket
He's like,
stubs.
what's the difference between Karate Kid and this one? The original and this one. I was like, the original was good. This one sucked balls.
That's it. All right. The aforementioned Patriots at the Raiders here. The Raiders are a 3-point favorite. Screw you, Jimmy Jawline, for not getting the ball to the man. 4
You got it to
targets.
Myers?
Yeah, Myers. 4 targets. What are we doing? What
Well,
are we
listen.
doing?
Bill Belichick's
the
going to
Raiders.
he's going to put the hood up, and he's going to stare across the field at Josh McDaniel. He's going to crumble like the fucking water boy, the coach, like Henry Winkler. He's going to crumble like Henry Winkler. I don't know. This might be a rough game.
All right. Well, I am going with the Vegas Raiders. And who you got in this one?
I think Timmy's right. It's going to be a rough game because if anyone's watched the Patriots offensive line this year, they can't block anybody, and Max Crosby is destroying people. Give me the Raiders.
I think he's 4th in for Defensive Player of the Year.
I don't like Max Crosby. He's a bully.
He's really good.
He's dirty. Give me Bosa every day. But I'm still going with the Raiders.
The Raiders, that was for Anthony. That was for Dave.
Sacks.
Timmy?
Yeah, they're in the Death Star. Let's sweep it then.
A little sweepage. All right.
Think of the revenge factors here, though. Think of it. Josh McDaniels, Jacoby Myers,
Jimmy Garoppolo. That means don't start Devontae Adams.
Nope. This is Jacoby.
Yeah, take Devontae Adams out of your starting lineup because he'll only give you 4.6 points and it's 4 catches. Next up, the Lions at the Bucks in Tampa.
Start with Dave. Start with Dave.
You were on a roll for a few weeks there. You had it. Lions at the Bears. Lions are a 3-point favorite. I said Bears at the Bucks. Lions are a 3-point favorite. Dave, start with you. Who you got?
Come on, man. You already know. The yeast took like a bye week because, it needed to, cool down a little bit. And now we're back at it. The yeast is going back up. Mr. Mayfield is out there with the chef's hat cooking. Come on, Bucks are going to take care of these Lions with no problem.
All right, Timmy. I think Timmy's going to have.
Don't even ask me.
Yeah, Timmy's got a different thought process here. He's going with the Lion. Ant, who you got in this one?
Baker Mayfield is going to stare across the field and see Dan Campbell and shit his pants. Give me the Lions.
Dude, Aiden Hutchinson has been on a fucking roll lately.
He looks incredible.
He might crawl up into that
Plus
defense.
1,300.
Not
a bad thing. Throw a few bucks at plus 300. Throw $5 at it. Not you, Timmy.
Throwing money anywhere.
Timmy, you warned us.
Not you.
Do it.
Not
I
you.
won't.
Everyone else.
Everyone else do it.
But
if I throw a bet down, I promise I'll let you know ahead of time. So you don't bet it.
I would like to change one of my picks from earlier today.
What would that be? Yeah.
We can get that. I'm gonna go and change my pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's a good
Just because I realize, I need to not completely fall down.
It's not the right thing to do at this point. It's not the right.
Well, you got to
risk.
think. You can either take a huge lead or you can really bury yourself.
That's true. We don't want to see you outside the top 4, though.
I've done plenty of burying before on these picks, so I'm gonna keep it safe here.
All right. Next up, the Cardinals at the Rams. Cardinals just lost their running back. James Conner is going to be out for at least 2 weeks. I think I read 4 weeks.
So he's on 4.
He went to the IR. I didn't see that. Okay, so 4 weeks gone. You got a couple of guys that are going to try and fill his spot, but I mean, you got Cooper Kupp back. I'm going with the Rams here easily. Yeah, clean sweep. This is clean sweep.
Yep.
The Ding Dongs We
I'm
might have a
eliminating
sweep
them.
on the next 3, and I'm gonna
We
just
might.
call it right
We
now.
might.
Throw them up
It's gonna
there.
be all right. Get the
Diamondbacks
Cardinals
win?
at the
How
Rams.
dare you? How dare you put that pressure on like that?
I did put a lot of pressure. My apologies in advance. Next up, the Eagles, 7-point favorite at the Jets. Yes, sweep.
Yeah.
I just got to take a second look at Melo and make sure he's not trying to.
If Aaron Rodgers was starting, it'd be a different game, but it's not. So
Nope. That offensive line still can't block. Doesn't change a whole lot.
he's still Aaron
I got
Rodgers.
hurt in the
He'll
first
make it
place.
happen.
Wait,
Have you watched Jalen Carter play football this year? I'm just wondering. He's wrecking people's days left and right.
Timmy and I spoke about this on We Stomped You Out on our preview show with him, and we're not happy with him being on the Eagles. All right, next up, the Giants, the New York Football Giants. Now, I will say, at the beginning of this year, now Melo made me change my mind on the Giants and Dolphins game at the beginning of the year because you made me feel like a traitor or something like that. But I originally, as an upset for the Giants, thinking about Dayball, thinking about Daniel Jones and the offensive line, and just the entire team not being shit as it has been through the first 5 weeks, thought that this might be the week for an upset for the Giants. I no longer think that. They're 14-point underdogs. They're going to lose this game. It's just not good. Timmy, I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know it was 14.
It's 14. It's 14.
I think it's actually up to 14 and a half, honestly.
No, it's not. It's not. We're not.
It's
we're
not
going to embarrass our show. We're not going to. No. It might be. But we're not going to embarrass ourselves even further.
Okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure it is, actually. I'm looking at it. It says 14 and a half.
My bookie says it's.
I literally
Looks like
just
a half
grabbed these a
there.
little while ago. These Giants are fading by the moment. All right, let's get the hell off of this one. Yeah, that's your Sunday night primetime game, by the way. Monday night.
I mean, if Tyrod Taylor is the starter, then I would say
then the spread's going to go up.
They're going to cover the minus
23 and a
14.
half.
Just throwing that out there. Remember, if Taylor's starting, they're covering that 14. They won't win.
All right, Monday night game. The Cowboys coming off that thumping for the 49ers. The Chargers coming off their bye. Cowboys are a 2.5-point favorite on Monday night. We start with you, Timmy.
This one no good. But because the Chargers are the Chargers and the Cowboys are the Cowboys and they play well on Monday night games, I'm going to see the Cowboys win this one.
Dave?
I don't want them to. I hope I'm wrong.
Let's go Chargers.
I think I'm on the same boat as Timmy. I think they'll bounce back after that atrocious loss. And Troy Aikman and Mr. Buck will lead them to
Oh, God. I forgot about
victory.
that. Oh, my God. It's going to be like a Fox 425 start. Fucking Aikman, man. Jesus.
That's what, just Manning cast. That's what I'm saying. Just Manning cast.
always Manning cast. And they'll talk about the time Eli signed the locker room wall. It'll be fun. Fun will be had by all. Anthony, who you got in this one? Cowboys, Chargers.
Cowboys. They're going to rebound after a horrible loss.
I think so as well. I haven't. Have you heard anything? Guys, heard anything on
Eckler?
Thank you.
Sounds like he's going to play.
All right. Well, at least that's a positive because you don't have Joshua back there, but you still don't have Mike Williams. You got Joshua Palmer to step up in the passing game, but we'll be rooting for the Chargers. But I got the Cowboys to win this game. So,
not one I would be mad that I got wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Put a couple bucks on the Chargers. You know,
just in case.
Yeah, I like it a lot. All right, those are your world famous Week 6 picks here. Bring it to the bank, but don't blame us when you lose. I think that closes it out for us tonight, fellas. we covered. What's going on? I know Houston won their game just to get their
Arizona's up
quick.
4-0 in the sixth.
That's just great. Everything's working out.
And
Just
the
fucking
Aces
peachy.
are winning 96-69 against the Liberty.
That's it. Oh, it's
Black
wait,
games
it's a
are
5-game
no.
series. I forgot.
Oh no, you just ruined my night.
Is it best of 5?
I
Who
think
won
it's best
game
of
one?
7. Game
Is it
1,
on
the
best of
Aces
7?
won.
I'm calling out of work tomorrow. This is horrible. I can't take the abuse.
Where do the Aces?
Oh no, you're
play?
right. It is 5. It's 5 games.
It's 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the first game, the
Who are the-
Aces won 99-82. Now they're winning 96-69.
Who are
with
the
3 minutes in the
Aces?
Vegas.
Vegas, of course.
That
duh.
makes sense.
Okay.
It makes sense after you hear
Wait,
it.
so the WNBA went to Las Vegas before the NBA did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And baseball.
Thanks for that's well, yeah, all right. Well, thanks baseball gods for nothing this year. Appreciate everything. That'll do it for us this week. Let's do a quick round robin here as we get the hell up on out of here. Mr. Timmy T, aka Go Liberty. What you got?
I have my one verse that I wrote.
Let's do it.
It's about artificial turf. And I don't rap, so I'm just going to read it. Turf.
Oh,
It's hard. There's no cushion for your feet. Running on it feels like concrete on the street. Playing sports on it can lead to more injuries. Sprained ankles, sore knees, and torn Achilles. That's it. I'm done.
Yes. You got a good start, baby. You got a good start.
I'm done.
Excellent.
Grammy
I'm a-
coming your way.
I'm not finishing that. That's the one verse.
The one verse, one hit single.
That's
It's,
it.
it's like Bad Blood. From Taylor Swift's Bad Blood. You know, she
That's
had like the rapping guy just sit there really quick. Boom, that's perfect.
He's in,
That's
he's
the-
out,
no.
done.
That's the chorus, and then I'll have guest stars do the rest of it. So there we go.
I think the guest stars are right here.
There you go.
This,
Write them up.
All right, Mello, what's going on with you as we head on out here?
Nothing.
Words of
Everyone
wisdom.
go watch, if you have not done it yet, the trailer for the Von Erich movie. Fantastic.
good.
We watched it about 2 hours ago. I watched it for the first time 2 hours ago. So did Timmy. Amazing. If you're a wrestling fan, you're gonna love this. If you're not, you are gonna have a lot to expect with this movie.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there.
And we talked about it already. Now I'm letting you know about Bert better not get this. Unless I go to New York to go watch this movie, then Bert better be nowhere near. It's like the Trolls movie. He better be nowhere near.
So
Sunset, Aventura,
blockbusters,
Davey.
forget those. Trolls and Iron Claw.
Well, the troll should get the troll passes,
That's absolutely yeah.
and then the guy who still does the wrestling show should get the wrestling passes. So that makes sense.
It does make sense. I can't argue
Logical.
with that logic. Can't argue with it. All right, Ant, what you got on the way out here?
There was a play in this week's Steelers-Ravens game where the Steelers sent an extra rusher who was unblocked. TJ Watt, who was blocked, still beat the unblocked rusher to the quarterback. Yes, that you can look it up. It's an unbelievable clip to watch. TJ Watt
Not a
leads
bad
the league in
defender.
sacks with 8. If you cut every player in the top 10 sacks in half right now, they would all still have more sacks than Nick Bosa. Thank you.
That's boom roasted. That's Ant's version of it. I'm gonna leave you with a quick story from my childhood. We all have childhood memories of wrestling with our friends and family members and whatever. Had a friend and his sister, very much a tomboy. We used to put on these wrestling matches, and one day my buddy was the Texas Tornado, and I don't remember who his sister was, but he landed a vicious tornado punch, broke her nose, and one of the most memorable things ever in my life. And that's my inspiration on the way out.
It's inspirational.
kids get out there and go go
Texas
play around
tornado
wrestling.
punch your
So
sister,
ba-
is that what you're
Break your
trying to say?
siblings' noses. Apparently, that's what Steve is. Condoning.
Basically, Steve is saying women should stay in the kitchen and not go out and wrestle.
Oh my god!
Might get me canceled.
I'm
All
not
right,
with him.
Everybody separates themselves from me now. I'm all my lonesome. All right, that'll do it for this week. Go back and watch some of the episodes that we've had this week so far. Grannies, just a little while ago, Just Too Sweet. Tomorrow we're finally getting to our season finale of the Put It in the Book show, where we will roast Daniel Vogelback for 2 hours. And Dave's so offended by that.
I understand.
All right,
We had an amazing
until
August.
next week. God. And by the way, Lindor was hurt all year. Peace out, everybody.